Your circle will change as you accomplish your goals and level up. Everybody can't go.
All right, you guys, it's another Wednesday, another Everybody Can Go Convo. Today, I have with us in the building one of my peers, Lashanda Collins, coming to you guys. We met in the UOU Mastermind, which we're both still a part of at current. And so we're going to jump straight into it. Hey, Lashanda, how's it going?
Hey,
Let us
Jess.
know what you got going on right now. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Lashanda Collins. I'm from North New Jersey. I'm a notarized notary. I specialize in power of attorney. I'm an event space owner. I'm opening up my event space. So that's what I'm doing right now. And that's it. I'm a mother of three, and that's what I do.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. So, as you know, the concept is everybody can go. And we talk about, people staying or overstaying past their reason, season, or lifetime, whether it's you staying in someone else's life or keeping other people close to you or staying in environments or at a job, perhaps, that you stayed at too long. It was time for you to go here, of course, as we do in the mastermind, take accountability for what we can control, which is ourselves. So and can you recall a time where pretty much everybody couldn't go, but did you hold on, did you let go, how did you handle it?
Well, my course started, I guess, maybe about 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when I got into make real estate real. And I guess everybody couldn't go because I wanted to be into real estate. A lot of people didn't. And if they did, they was into scamming and doing different things like that. Or people just hear about things and they don't want to jump on board because they just think you talking about whatever you're talking about. But I had a vision. I had a dream to put all my houses and make them mine and open up new homes, like a transitional home. So I wanted to learn, and everybody can't go because everybody don't want to learn real estate. Everybody don't want to own property. Everybody don't want to lease property. Everybody don't want to be have generational wealth either. So everybody can't go. So
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. You definitely touched on a few things in there. One of the things that I will always say, I decided to dip my toe into real estate. Did make real estate real as well, so that I could like just learn like that baseline knowledge and find out like what does getting into real estate really look like. And one of the things that I learned is what I call two different paths. You can take that path where it's like, look, I'm about to buy this $1,000 fixer upper. I'm originally from Detroit, so ton of houses on the market for $1,000, or you can buy a lot for $100. There have been a bunch of different programs and things over the years where you can purchase land, purchase blight homes
okay,
through the county and stuff like that. But the problem with that was, you get a house that's already gutted for $1,000. I mean, just running electrical, that could run you 60, 70K. So not having the proper rehab budget and having everything wrote down the right way, yeah, you bought a house for $1,000. You bought a lot of three or four homes and it only cost you $3,000 to $5,000. But what is that rehab budget looking like? So, there's that I'm a live in it and fix it while I live there. And it's like, okay, well, let me know how that work out for you. And then, there's the make real estate real method that is more so for people that are looking to invest, that aren't necessarily trying to do a do it yourself or a DIY fixer upper. And I would say in my own journey with real estate, that was a very clear dividing line in how like I versus some of my other counterparts and other people, some of which that I'm still cool with to this day. how they wanted to approach real estate in the a pay as you go DIY type way versus I had these dreams and goals that were, on that system, that systematic
Hmm.
route, that it's like, we need the paperwork, I need budgets, I need, like,
The structure is
uh-huh.
things that we didn't know, just well as us in business, and we didn't know,
Hmm.
especially coming from a 9 to 5. You don't think about real estate like that, like you said. So you got to invest in yourself. Everybody can't go because everybody don't want to invest in themselves. So you invest in yourself so you can learn the right way, and you can teach people that want to learn, and then you can bring people that want to come. Because it is a lot of people that could go. You just got to link up with those people that want to go. That's
Right,
it.
exactly.
That's
And
it.
that's where community comes in, with being in a room with like-minded people, that while we talked about that just in real estate alone, there are those two different paths. Both of them work. But one path, you're gonna end up with one group of people. The other path, there will be a different group of people that you'll be working with. And the reason why I wanted to highlight that there's no right or wrong path. It's which direction do you want to go in? Which one do you desire to go in? Because as he reminded me on a call a couple weeks ago, everybody can go, but the question is, does everybody want to go? And then also, in the case of talking about real estate, how do they want to go? And sometimes those key questions, I find, are where we can end up in a source of conflict, or that where you're supposed to split, that could become a source of conflict when you trying to pull somebody in your direction, they trying to pull you in their direction, and you guys are butting heads simply because there is a time that you are supposed to separate and do things differently because you have different end goals. Or even when your end goal is the same thing with rehabbing a home, you want to take two different paths to get there.
Well, it's also with growing and learning that you have to have a conversation. It's always okay to have a conversation. And if you're going into business with anyone, this is how you find out that everybody can't go. As you know, because you're a specialist and everybody can't go. And sometimes you just have to have a conversation. And maybe a hard conversation, but it's a conversation. We're going in two different ways with a lot of things. With, like, I see you're married. I'm single. I might can't go with you certain places and do certain things with you. Some friends can't go
Mm-hmm.
because their thoughts, what they want to do, is opposite of what you want to do and how you're going. And I don't think you should stop ourselves from doing what we're going to do to move the needle because everybody can't go and they can't stop us. Our train got to keep going so we can get to our end destination where we're supposed to be. So that's how I look at it. And it's not hard to leave people.
Look, if it's causing some disruption or if it's a hindrance, it can be very, very easy to take a different route or take a different direction. So in your experience, when you did have to like make that breakaway and go in a different direction so that you were able to accomplish your goals and your dreams, what were some of the things that made that transition or made that separation successful for you?
Well, a lot come to do with being in a community where people are smarter than you. And
Mhm.
it's okay to say that. And they have a lot more things. Not that you can't have it, you just don't have it yet, or you didn't even know it existed. So being in those rooms, it make me close doors to other rooms because those are places I really didn't want to be. But I have exposure. So as you know, when you get exposed to a different life or you get exposed to something good, you want to let go what's bad, especially if people don't want to go with you or they're not teaching you what you done put yourself into a room with. So I noticed that's how I close doors with people and left friends, not left them, but just put them on pause
Mm-hmm.
or just say I can't do what you're doing right now, or no, I can't go to the club right now. I'm not interested in that right now because it's not getting me further. No, I might can't go to a concert. Can't pay for Beyonce right now because I pay for my mastermind where people have money and they have businesses and they have things where I'm trying to get to. So it was hard because you're used to people and certain people in your life doing some silly things and some things that you're just used to. But as you grow and you see you want to be somewhere different, you got to let things go. And, you know, I'm grown now, so I've learned to let people go. Like, you don't pay my mortgage, what you eat don't make me go.
Mm-hmm.
So I better get what was going to make me go and help my family. So, yeah, that's what I do. But,
Yeah, it's
it's
not
rough.
always easy. That's for sure. And I love that that you're talking about being in that like fresh out of and in that transition right now. So for the listeners, for our viewers, I have brought to you guys a myriad of people who are in various stages of working through releasing relationships, environments, habits, things that are no longer serving you or no longer helping to propel you toward your accomplishing your dreams and your goals. And no, Lashana, I'm glad to have you on as someone who, at current, you're still in the midst of building that solid foundation. Here,
Yes.
we talk about making sure that we're not building on sand, so that because a mess. If you build on sand and it's
You be
shaky, and
thinking. You,
uh huh, and don't let it be once you finally got everything built up and you just putting your little antenna on top of the building and then, yep, and
you
that thing start
lopsided.
leaning tower
You
pizza.
mean it.
Uh-huh.
You
Then you gonna
fixing
be
your
hot, hot.
screw.
Uh-huh. You gonna be
Yeah.
hot, hot. If you feel like I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm to the top of the building, I'm done building, but then all of that stuff starts crumbling from under you. And so I'm glad that you're able to speak from the angle of being in the midst of not just building the foundation because you have some things built there, but making sure that it is solid.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. It's even just coming from being a 9 to 5er. You
Mhm.
know, I worked in a hospital for 22 years, and when you work for 22 years and you work in double shifts and double shifts, I just left my job. But when people, we still work in our 9 to 5s and still trying to learn business, they have a different mindset than what I have when I figure I can make $150 doing something in a day in 3 hours, and they want to be at work all day. And they're
Mhm.
not even trying to get out of it. So you might have to leave those people behind. Some could come with me that work at the hospital and they understand because they have side hustles. And some just couldn't go. And I had to halt my relationships with them. Like, you got a business, you want to cook, but you don't want to aspire to do nothing more than that. You just want to cook in your kitchen. I can't talk to you because I expose myself to something different. So now I want more and I'm trying to bring you, but you can't go because you don't
You
want to
don't want
motivate me. You don't
to.
want to. Just like you said, you got to want to. So I'm just picking my battles now and being around people that think like me, like talking to you. I'd rather talk to Jessica today. Let's talk to Jessica.
I appreciate that. And that shoot, talking about talking, that in itself, super, super real. Many times we don't notice the conversations that we're having with people. That stuff does penetrate your like your psyche. You got to think about what you're thinking about. And then also, in addition to think about what you're thinking about, you got to think about what's going in that is kind of like your subconscious thoughts is kind of like flicking that little stuff that when you like, okay, I'm worried about building business, those like a string of negative comments that could come to you will, why you don't want to come with us to the Beyonce concert, girl? We know you got it. And it's like, sure, I got it, but I ain't got it for that. I got it for my business because that is where my interest is, and I'm building toward my future. I'm not
Yeah.
building toward Beyonce. In the future, I mean, if I do what I'm supposed to do and do what I need to do for my business now, next Beyonce concert, that's the biggest thing coming, I can go ahead and just buy us a whole suite with the
We could
open
be
bar
sitting with
included.
Beyonce. How about that? We'll be with her. Don't even worry about it. We see past that. We don't even have to be there. We can be courtside with her.
Okay.
That's what you think. We think above and beyond, and
Mm-hmm.
we can't let them stop us. So you gotta keep that chatter to the
Yep.
side.
Yep. And
Watch
sometimes,
what you see. Stuff we listen to. It's just really a lot. It's really a lot. I'm glad you have this show. I'm glad you be talking to people about, some things we gotta let go, and everybody can't go. And it's even your siblings,
yep.
even your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you gotta put them on pause. Like, I took an adventure. I'm not in Jersey at my home. I'm somewhere else. My kids can't come with me now. They don't want to, and guess what? It's not meant for them to come with me now and move around right now. Everybody can't go. This is a journey that I have to take on my own. So, you know, trying to do what I'm supposed to do, and I got to move around right now. So things worked out, I think, and God is always good to us. So if we pay attention, we usually get it right.
Right.
Everybody can't go.
Hey, that's facts that you brought up. The portion about, and you guys refer to the chapter on family. Actually, with being in the community and just speaking with people at large. One of the biggest subcategories that inspired me to go ahead and share my story and start to kind of like peel away those layers and the taboo of that everybody can't go with you was there were a few people that it was very emotional when they shared their story about um making that separation with family and setting boundaries with their family as they began to grow and build and do something different than the environment that they grew up in.
Okay.
And like people from like men, women, some of my students, people that were elder than me, people that were my same age or in young adulthood, just the range of people that shared with me that their source of having that like feeling, it's like, oh well, no, my social circle is fine, my friends are fine, it's my family that doesn't, they're not supportive, or they don't want me to venture out and try new things, or there's always
It's
somebody's
always
mom,
somebody.
yeah, somebody's mom or aunt or your dad, uncle, somebody's worried that it's like, no, do you really want to jump into business? You could lose it all. You could lose all your money. What if you get scammed? And it's like, what if I do? But I'm willing to jump out there and try.
Yeah.
While sometimes, some of this can come because people are trying to help us. And that is their way of helping, is kind of giving us language and putting thoughts into our head that would scare us away or shy us away from aspiring or chasing some of these dreams, or even something as simple as like, oh, you could get scammed in real estate. Well, I enrolled in Make Real Estate Real so that I could learn the proper things. Well, that's a scam too. Like, wait a minute, pause. No, it's not. This is a learning system. But those very same people will tell you, no, go to college. That's not a scam at all. And it's like, you do know everything that I learned there. I didn't actually use it to get a job, to do my job. Whereas Maul got
None
on
of it.
here and taught us everything that we needed to know in the course. You get your certificate, and then you get on and you're having coaching every other week. You're calling up people that are in the industry that do this every day, that are professionals, and it's like, hey, I have a question. I can
Yep.
let you know the answer for right now.
Right now.
And sometimes it's just taking that first step forward to even get, like you said, into that environment, get into the environment and become exposed to just learning the base level knowledge of what needs to be done.
And you're so right, because it's how about I took a real estate course, become a realtor, didn't learn nothing from that, got three. Wait, I missed 3 points. 3 points. Should have took it again. I was like, took Make Real Estate Real. Learned more in that than I learned in the real estate course, and was able to do what I had to do with that. Do you kind of
Mhm.
get what I'm saying? So I'm glad I trusted my instinct and didn't listen to the naysayers and the family members that was just like, you about to get scammed. Like, they taking your money.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So just like you said, in anything that we do, we can always listen to the naysayers, but we have to listen to our heart a lot of times. And that's with a lot of things. And go with your best choice. You get the feeling when you about to get scammed. I done got scammed a lot too, so
And you had that feeling before?
you know what? I did. How about that? I did. When I felt it was scam, I was like, this don't feel right. And it ended up being a scam. So
Mm,
go with your gut feeling, basically. That's what I'm saying. And leave people
okay.
behind. Okay? Sometimes you just
Yeah.
gotta do it.
Do your research, go with that gut feeling. And you guys, by all means, like, we're not saying that, like, especially in the real estate space, we're not saying just any old body that them posted on Instagram buy into their program. We are talking about some a program and a person who has been vetted, who is successful in the game. He was
Mm-hmm.
already successful before he sold us a course. Literally,
Yeah.
the course is to help us. It's not to put money in this man's pocket. So just because we're speaking on a space where
We
there are
know.
so many wins and losses, by all means, we're just speaking about a program that we have participated in and that we advocate for, because it is a product that has been tried, tested, trusted, and as for
And
my podcast,
we're proof that it worked.
right. And we have proof that it works. Like,
Yeah.
both of us can pick up our phone right now and call people in the program who not only are professionals in the game to answer those questions, but people who have gone through the program and made tens, if not hundreds
And
of
they can stand
thousands
10 toes
through the
down on
program.
it. So that's the most important part. So that's just what our coaching class also,
Hmm.
we've invested in ourselves.
That's for sure. It looked like we broke up a little bit right there, but we gonna
It's
keep on
okay.
rocking. Don't worry about it.
It's
So
okay.
yeah, you guys make sure that when you are investing in yourself, as Lashonda said, make sure that you following that gut instinct, whether that is against your naysayers or whether it's, for the naysayers. And another thing I would say, make sure that you don't end up doing stuff out of just out of stubbornness. You know how, like, sometimes we'll get that feeling that it's like everybody like, no, you can't do it, you can't do it. And it's like, I'm gonna show you. And it's like,
I could do
but
it.
were you really even supposed to be doing that in the first place? Or were you supposed to be doing
Not
something else,
learning.
but you just decided to go with that?
Sorry, I'm looking at the dog.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
I
So
apologize. I'm like, what's going on? These Zooms and everything. I'm just so happy you had me up here. And I got to talk to you about some things and situations I had to leave behind. It was just a lot, the party in life, just a lot of things you do have to leave behind when you're trying to move to a different space and do just different things. If you want to do better, you got to just really do better. So I really appreciate you, Jessica.
you too. And thank you so much for coming on and for giving our viewers a bit of insight, like, into who you are, into like what your Everybody Can't Go story is, and some of the things that you are having success with transitioning, making those changes that were or can be difficult for some of us, in letting go and moving on, in releasing certain dynamics. And then also shout out to you for setting those boundaries that you needed to set
Yes.
with people.
Somebody in our group, what was it? A jazz, setting boundaries, talking about that and just learning ourselves with the flight assessment. That
Hmm.
right there took me like 10 spaces up with learning myself, type of person I am, my personality, who I should be around, who I can't be around, who more about me. So once I learn
Hmm.
more about me, I know where I'm supposed to be. So once I know where I'm supposed to be, it ain't really about leaving nobody behind. It's just getting to where I need to be. So that's what I'm
And
working on.
And that's a way, you guys, that's a way to take that facts over feelings. That's a way to take those feelings and sift them out from the facts so that you got feelings over here and facts over here. And you're looking at concrete things in making the decision with how you're going to move forward. When you know yourself, know where you're supposed to be, and then also how you're supposed to be getting there. When you know what your path is and it's clear, it's easier to look at relationship dynamics without that emotion of lingering on past the point that you should, because you're able to see easily what is in or out of alignment with what you need to get to where it is that you're on your way to.
And you know something else that I'm learning also, and we've been talking about it a lot in the last few weeks. Vision.
Mm-hmm.
That right there. If you don't have one and you don't have nowhere to go, you'll fall for anything. You know what I mean? And once you fall for anything, you ain't going nowhere, so you
Mm-hmm.
just stuck. So that right there took me a whole nother level. Also learning myself, and now pinpointing and focusing just like on just my vision. And once you could do that, when I tell you, just learning yourself and putting yourself in a better place, everything else falls in line. When I say people start falling off like flies because you're so like this,
Mm-hmm.
it's like they coming against you. You don't even have time. So work on yourself and that vision. I never knew it was so important, but
Mm-hmm. That's the
it's
beginning
very
to that.
important.
That's the
Yes.
beginning to that roadmap to make sure that you know where you're headed. So, shameless plug, write the vision. You see it right here in the background, y'all. Go ahead if you haven't copped it already. You don't have to start your Write the Vision journal at the beginning of the year. You can literally start at any time. When the first time I actually sat and spent time writing my vision down, it was actually like in the middle of the summer. It was like May, June, or July, something like that. So it's not necessarily just a New Year thing. You can literally do this any time of the year, at any point that you wish. So if you haven't ever thought about it or haven't written down what your vision is, go on Amazon, grab the journal. Some of the same questions that were posed to me and that I had to ask myself, things that I had to think through, are what the journal is going to walk you through, so that you'll have a handful of things in mind as you actually start to write your vision down, and that will develop over time. It's
Okay.
something that initially you'll write it out, but as you are growing, as you are learning, as you're forging your path, you'll find yourself going back to that vision and refining it so that the details are more and more, you get more and more detail as you go with, oh,
Yes.
I need to take a left turn here. Now I'm going to go two more blocks until you have very specific
Yes.
direction for how to get to your end goal. And also making sure that that vision, the things that you're doing, how you said that you can just be doing a bunch of stuff. A lot of times we can be doing a bunch of different things, and they're all good things, and they're all things that are, they're successful looking things. But in terms of actually being successful, real success is, where do you want to end up at in life? And then taking the path that leads you there. You can be doing a bunch of awesome things that look good. You can ball out from time to time. It looks like life is good, but really you're in all of these different directions, in all of these different places, doing all this different stuff, and you're not getting nowhere. You just all over the place, versus taking a clear cut path, and even a path that if you get lost, you can still get back onto it, that is leading to your final destination, which is ultimately that vision, that dream life that you have thought up for yourself, the vision that God has given you,
Yeah.
the vision that you've developed over time, all of those things being that end goal. And I would say that's the true definition of success. And it
Yeah.
can be big or small as you want it to be.
And sometimes you need help getting there. So there's nothing wrong with asking the question.
That part.
Ask. Nothing wrong with asking. That's
It's cool.
apologize. It's just doing things, but yeah, I lost my train of thought. But
Asking
um,
that question.
you said what happened?
Asking that question.
Ask the question because I have a lot of questions I had to ask because I used to feel like I was bouncing around. I had so many different visions. How about that? I had one vision and all these things I was trying to do, and everything can't be done at one time. So you got to get that one thing and stick to that one thing. And like you said, get that book you got on Amazon and start writing your vision. You'll know when to make it right or left. Ask somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're here. They have your website. They can contact you, ask a question if they need help to get directed, with their vision and just different things. And I think it's great. Like, it's awesome what we doing. We're going to be awesome. Everybody else is too. They just got to stay in contact and ask questions.
Hey, and look, speaking of ask the question, that's how I got Lashanda here today. Okay. Things weren't going exactly as they were supposed to. I was like, look, yo, help. I got a question. And she rose to the occasion for the set of questions that I had, along with some of our other peers, some of our other coaches. Like sometimes just asking that question and asking for that help and being open and receptive to letting others reach out and give you that help and lend that helping hand. Those are things that about ourselves that we can control, change, and be aware of, so that we can make the necessary adjustments, so that we can get to the end goal for what it is that we need, whether that's a small hurdle or whether we're talking about those assessments and changes that are needed over a longer period of time to reach or build toward a larger goal.
You're right, because everything that's, how you say, like you said you had a trial today. It was just a test to see if you could pass it, and you passed. You passed.
And I'm glad right now I'm definitely in a season of um every time like something goes wrong, I'm like, oh, here go another lesson. Now let me figure out, and literally like my focus is on what am I supposed to be learning from this? And or the other
Yeah.
thing that I started to do was, if it's something that I know immediately that it can help somebody else, I'm like, ooh, that tripped me up right there. Hold on, let me write it down. I'm gonna put it on the list and categorize these things so that if and when someone else comes to me and they're like, hey, I know that you did this thing, you did this thing, you did this thing. How did that process go? You know what? Glad you asked. So this is how it went for me. And I'm about to text you a bullet point list of things to look out for. How much time it cost me, how much extra money it cost me, the things that I did out of order that I may have skipped steps 3 and 4. I went straight from 2 to 5. And then it wasn't until step 8 that I'm like, oh crap, now I gotta go all the way back and try to rush through or spend extra resources on finishing steps 3 and 4 because it affects something a month or so down the line. And so making sure that, like I said earlier, I ain't hurting for free. Okay. So making sure that any source of anything that could be a pain point for me, that I'm making sure that I'm like squeezing that grape and getting every little bit out of that thing. So that I ain't just whining, but so that I can go ahead and fill up a pitcher to pour somebody else some wine, make
There you
something good
go.
out of it. Okay. And so just being in that headspace about the different things that come up. I know it sounds cliche to be like, oh yes, like when things come up, it's just such a blessing. But like I've literally been looking for the blessing or looking for the lesson when something goes wrong. And lately I've kind of noticed in part of that was propelled by because of the rigor of the mind of the mastermind. And it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're learning every day. There are new things to apply every day. Information don't change nothing. Information applied changes situations. And so
Application.
with having to do that application every day, it's like I literally don't have time to like sit and stew and be upset about things. Like I'm like, okay, I know there's a solution to this. Let me figure this thing out. Let me think about it. let me slow down, let me readjust, let me realign, because we literally don't have time to just like sit there. Because if you sit for 3 days, you are going to be behind.
You are lost. You
Uh-huh.
lost, and they're gonna tell you about it, and you're gonna get checked on it, and your answer gonna look crazy. The question you gonna ask look crazy because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So, like you said, once you apply the things that we get in, then we always end up better.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta sit in it sometimes, but we usually make it out. Like everybody's not perfect. We do it at our own time. Like we learning at different places. Everybody don't get the same deck of cards
Mm-hmm.
the same way. So you might got your ace first and I might got a two. So I might got to do some extra things in between. But we gonna all figure it out as long as we share. Like you said, you get your bullet points, you share your informations and your trials. So it'll make it easier for me when I come to you. So I won't be in tears next time because
You ain't
Jessica
gotta be
helped
in
me.
tears.
Because Jessica helped me. So then my pain won't be your pain next time. It'll be help because you know what I'm saying? I did it before. So this is how we learn each other. And we help. This is what we do it for. Like
Yep.
it keeps us going. You know what I mean? It has to. We ain't doing for nothing. We ain't wake up for
Right.
nothing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? We trying to get to the end result here. And that's a bigger picture and doing big and beautiful things. So
Yep,
we
that's
good.
facts. And
Yes.
you guys, I've reminded you multiple times about your community, the people that surround you. When you have a strong community and a community of good people around you to help uplift you, and notice one of the things that she said back there: if you messing up or if you're behind, you're gonna get checked on it. That's not in a way that like somebody coming for you and like no,
Mm-mm.
there is a such thing as stern but gentle correction, and you have to be open and accountable to having people that they got your back tight enough that when you are falling off or you are messing up, somebody is like, hey, you good, what's happening? Oh, you on vacation, you ain't let nobody know before you left. We need
Oh,
to know that you're not just at the crib chilling.
yeah.
And, those are the to whom much is given, much is required. When you're in a community with people who are able to uplift you to such heights, or able to help you in those different ways and pour into you, you're able to pour into them, and there are mutually beneficial relationships that you're a part of. In that circle, there also is a certain level of responsibility and accountability that you are going to have to take for what you do, what you don't do, the type of growth that you're making. And there will be other people who they will hold you to a standard. And I guarantee
Mm-hmm.
you that standard is going to be higher than all the rest of the other outside stuff. Because if you were interested in being held to that outside standard, you wouldn't be in such a community with people who are able to uplift you and hold you up and hold you accountable in that way, and in spaces and places where you too are responsible for helping to hold up and uplift other people.
Other people, yeah.
Like you said, we in it together.
We in this together. So you are right. You are so correct. I'm just so excited today. Like, I'm so excited. This is so good for me.
I'm glad. I'm glad. So let's
Yes.
see. We've been rocking for about almost 40 minutes. So we won't keep the audience for too long on this episode.
Okay.
You guys
Excellent.
know. So, this won't be the last time that you'll see homegirl Lashanda. She will definitely be back on with us in the future. Let everybody know your socials so that they know where to find you, where to DM you. Are your DMs open for people to send you messages? I'm not going to just be like, yeah, DM her. Like, you let us know how to get in touch with you. Where can we find you?
Well, if you're looking for me, I'm on Facebook as Lashanda Collins, Facebook, and on Instagram, Lashonda Collins, and TikTok, I'm on there for Unique Blessing. So if that's where you're looking for me, that's where I'll be.
All right, cool. So we'll have those socials for you guys down in the description box so that you can go ahead, follow her, hit a like. If you have any questions for Lashana, you can send those DMs, those messages. Of course, our boxes are always open. If there's any way that we're able to help you guys or point you in the right direction, it don't always got to be me. It don't
No,
always have to be who I have on. We may
we'll
know
find them.
Exactly. Who you need to go to, who has the answer for what you need. And so we're blessed to be a blessing and to be a resource for you all and to you all. And we will catch you guys next Wednesday on the next episode. Have a good one.
Have
Peace.
a good one.
Would you mind giving my husband some privacy?